Hey, today we're going to be making some St. Louis style pork ribs in the oven. Easy, delicious, so simple to do. Um, Showing you here some packages I picked up at the local market, BJ's, which is a one of those club stores. I got 7 pounds there, 3.5 pounds from Stop and Shop, two packages, and 3 1/4. So we're going to be doing about 8.5 pounds of ribs. And I'm going to take you through taking them out of the package, trimming them up, and preparing them for a delicious feast that we're going to have tomorrow. So here they are out of the package, um, manhandling them here. I'm going to show you how to take the membrane off right here, which is on the back side of the rib. I'm also going to trim these up, take some of the excess fat off and some of the meat flaps. You want them kind of consistent, same size. So I'm going to show you how to do that. It's really easy to do. You can use a paper towel, which most people have paper towel, or you can use a dish towel, something that you have. It just helps you grip the membrane, and you're actually going to peel it off. And it's quite easy when you know how to do it. Take a sharp knife and um, lift up the edge of the membrane, and then you just give it a little tug, and it should come right off. But here's the slabs of meat. I'm giving you a little showcase here of what I'm going to do with them. So I have one on the board here. These other two, we've got a total of four. We'll prep them up and I'll show you how it's done. So here it is. I grab it there in the corner. I loosened it up. You can grab a paper towel. You just go ahead and give it a tug. It's not that hard. It's not difficult at all. You're going to peel that off. It gives the final product a better overall appearance. It's easier when you separate them, you're cutting them, it lets the flavor penetrate the backside. So when you put the rub on, it gets really in there. And then I do a little technique too. After I take the membrane off, I'll show you. It's coming up. I take a knife and I actually do a little piercing. I do a little poke the back of the rib to allow the rub to get in and get full flavor. So the other thing you want to do is with ribs is you want to really dry them. Get the paper towel, wipe them down really dry. Um, Take any of the extra chunks of fat, but fat is good. And here's where I'm doing the little poking. It's be careful not to hurt yourself, but just to make little holes, penetrations, so that the rub can actually get in. So again, very important. You want to dry it off. You don't want to steam. You don't want to wet uh, product before it goes in the oven. So you're going to dry it off. Paper towel works fine, and then you will use a rub. I have a rub mixture that I'm going to show the ingredients for. It's um, it's quite easy. You can get it off the internet. Um, I put my ribs. I put them in foil, heavy duty aluminum foil, the extra wide. There's the rub mixture there. I will be providing a ingredients list later on of what actually goes in the rub, but it's really, if you want to buy something over the counter, that's fine too. There's a lot of good products out there, but this is just mine. The basic paprika and salt and sugar, and here it is. I'll list it here: kosher salt, brown sugar, white sugar, paprika, coarse black pepper, garlic powder, dried onion flakes, cayenne pepper, and celery seed. Really, it's just something that I got off the internet, a combination of a couple of chefs out there. Seems to be pretty good, so and everybody likes it. It's not too hot, not too sweet. So um, this is what I do. I sprinkle on the back. You're going to flip it a couple of times, but you don't have to place the whole rib in the rub. I just put it on. And, just an even coat on both sides, and then at the end, before you put it in the foil, you want to make sure that the bottom side of the ribs are facing up. You kind of get a little well effect there, um, and it allows the juices to to accumulate in that little kind of like divot where the ribs kind of bend a little bit. And do both sides, and then you're gonna tightly wrap up in the foil um, the ribs in a little pouch. Just get enough seasoning. We're gonna put some barbecue sauce on it. You're gonna lay it that way. And here I will fold it up, make it nice and tight, both sides. Make a little pouch. Um, Not rocket science. You're just putting them in. Um, it it's not going to stick. It's not going to stick to the aluminum foil. Maybe stick a little bit, but not anything to be concerned about. So I'm going to do a couple of those. I'll put them on a tray, and we'll put them in the oven. But like I'm telling you now, this was done the day before, and I put them in the refrigerator. Primarily, I did them in the oven because we needed the space on the grill to do other stuff. Here's another one I'll demonstrate in case I went too fast the last time. Do both sides, big piece of rib, keep them whole, and give it a quick flip. Here we go on the back side, and fold her up. So I did that with all four. Keep the aluminum foil. It's probably one of the best things you can have is that heavy duty aluminum foil. And here we go. Get them ready. Put them on a sheet pan. Put them in the refrigerator downstairs. They're making that little well there. Not that I was punching it. Well, sometimes I feel like I would like to punch those. So that's what they look like before. I'll demonstrate here. I have one here that was a little bit bigger. I will show you how I trimmed it up. I actually had to go and get my knife was getting a little dull, so I had to get another knife out of the butcher block, but I dried it up. My little knife here, I'm going to trim it off, take a look at it. You can see where the last rib is. Try to go to the last rib, cut off that extra meat. And let me tell you, we took that meat and I put the spice rub on it and we put it on the grill. We had space on the grill. It was fantastic. It was I don't want to say it was better than the ribs, but it was boneless rib is what it was, and it was absolutely delicious just on the rub. I let it sit in the rub overnight in a plastic bag, put it on the grill next to the hot dogs and the hamburgers, and it was fantastic. So that didn't go to waste. That actually was like a little treat. When it came off the grill, I cut it up, and it was in nice little bite-sized pieces, and my guests really enjoyed that. So that's what I did. I just took off some of the fat. You don't want too much fat on there, and want to make it even so you can see where it flares out a little bit. I was going to trim off the piece here, try to even it up, and I got a little frustrated, so I had to go back to the my sharp knife, go over and get the big gun, and came right off. This knife was getting a little dull for whatever reason. I thought I had sharpened it before, but I didn't. So it happens. I was getting a little impatient because, of course, I'm filming this and I wanted to go smooth, but that's it. I had enough. I went over and grabbed my knife, my old trusty knife, and boom, comes right off. Happy about that. I was like, wow, that's a nice piece of meat. That'll be good. Yep, nice tender piece. So there it is. Trim it up a little bit. Do the old poking method. There it is. Quickly. Don't want, I mean, this is very repetitive, but you get the idea. Poke a little holes in it. It gives it a little extra space so that it can penetrate and get down in there, get those great flavors. And it was make it quite delicious. Here's the aluminum foil. Put on the old aluminum foil. Gonna wrap it up. Must have been having some problems with the aluminum foil. Phone was ringing. Here we are. There it is. That's it. Just simple. Aluminum foil. Here we go. I don't know why. I like the shiny side down. I don't know why. It's just something I've always done. So you take the rub. Here it is again, showing you one more time. Pretty repetitive, but we're going to put that rub on there, both sides, wrap it up. And again, like I said, not too much. You don't need a lot. It gives it tremendous flavor. Um, do both sides, and that's it. You get a lot of flavor. So some of the things you got to remember is you got to remember, which I don't often say, is you want to take the meat. If you have it in the refrigerator too, you want to pull it out. You want to give it enough time so that it comes up to room temperature. You don't want to be pulling out ice cold meat and putting it in the, having it come up to temperature in the oven. So bring it out maybe 45 minutes to an hour before so that it comes up to room temperature before you place it in the oven. There I am. Got it all. Flip it over. Here we go. Stretch it out a little bit and fold it up. There we go. Not as nice as Christmas packages, but not as pretty. Doesn't have to be. It's aluminum foil. Probably easier than Christmas packages. Fold it up. I'll put them on a sheet pan. So there we go. 1, 2, 3. Very easy. Let me wash my hands. Get all that rub off my hands, and we'll go on a sheet pan. So, okay, as we prepare these last couple of minutes, what we're going to do is we're going to remind you that we're going to, when we get ready to put these in the oven, like I mentioned before, you're going to pull them out, let them come up to room temperature about an hour before. And you're going to put them in a oven, preheated oven, 250 degrees, and we're going to put those in there for 2 hours. Okay, so here they are. I took them out of the refrigerator. I'm going to get ready to go put them in the oven. Like I said, take a little peek. Here they are. They've been sitting overnight in the refrigerator. We're going to put them in the oven. Turn the oven on, 350 degrees. We preheated that. It's going to go in that oven right there, 350 degrees. It's going to go in for 2 hours, maybe 2 hours and 15 minutes. And it's going to cook low and slow. There's the trimmings there. We're going to put those on the grill. I don't know why I have a shot of that, but here they are. When they come out of the oven, you're going to put them, you're going to let them rest for 15 minutes. Why are you going to let them rest? Well, because they're hot and you don't want to get burnt, but they are still a little warm. My guests are getting a little impatient, so I'm going to pull them out, and this is when we're going to take them out, decant all the liquids that accumulated, all the melted fat and juices. We're going to take the ribs out. We're going to put them on put them back on the aluminum foil, put them on a sheet pan, and we're going to use that mixture of both sauces. Again, I used Sweet Baby Ray's and Bubba's, a 50-50 mixture. And you're going to brush it on, put it on the back side and then on the front side, but you only do the back side once. There's all the juices. We're going to save that aluminum foil because we're going to use that. We're going to put the rib right back on that aluminum foil to brush it. We're going to brush it up. So we're going to put the rib back on, put it on a clean sheet pan. Be careful with that. So we're going to get those ready. A couple of them, all 4 of them. It's going to be kind of easy, not difficult at all. See me putting the sheet pan there. I'm going to transfer it over to that sheet pan, get it off, and I'm going to do the other 3. I'm going to pull the ribs out, drain them down, and then I'll take all the juices that are in the sheet pan and I will put them in a container for disposal. I don't pour it down the drain. We can't do that. We have septic systems here, but you wouldn't want to do that anyways. I collect it. Unfortunately, I'm not going to use it in any other recipe, the juices, although you probably could. You could probably make a barbecue sauce with or incorporate some of the juices for the barbecue sauce. I didn't. I just collected it and got rid of it. So there it is. It's in the sheet tray there. Be careful not to spill it. And I'm going to, like I showed you, I'm going to show you in a second. I'm going to brush it on. You can use a brush. You can use a spoon. You can use butter knife. Brush works best though. Not a paintbrush, probably a pastry brush or a meat brush that you would use for meats. But I have one of those. It's not like a paintbrush. It's kind of like a rubber or a silicone type brush. You can see me there just painting the back. I'm going to do one time on the back, like I said, and then I'm going to put multiple coats of the barbecue sauce on the front side. So it's They're going to go back in the oven, 350 degrees for 10 minutes at a time. Pull them out, and then I'm going to put another coat. Just going to keep layering up the coats on just the front side. You only do the back side once, like I mentioned. So we're going to put them on the sheet pan, put them all in nice little aluminum foil, so that you don't get all those sauce all on your pan. Spend hours cleaning it. So I'm doing the back side here. I'll flip it back over in a second, but that's what you do. Just want to get that back side once, just to give it a little flavor. Flip it back over multiple times. So you can do that about 5 times, 10 minutes. 5 times. And then you're going to bring it, let them, when you pull them out, you're going to let them sit for 10, 15 minutes before you cut them. Of course, you're going to cut them between the bones, and I'm going to put them on a serving platter. So for my guests. But get that all, make a nice little bed there, do a nice job. They roll it up. Very easy, not hard. Sheet pans. That other set of ribs, we'll put 2 on each pan. Set of 2 on each pan. I got my gloves on, just so that I didn't get barbecue sauce all in my fingers. But like I said, just brush it on. You can put as much on as you want. You don't have to put too much on. You don't want it to be too thick, because remember, you're going to put layers. You're going to layer it up, and it's going to continue to cook uncovered. You're not going to cover it. It's going to be continue to cook uncovered. It's kind of like dry, and give it a nice coating on there when it comes out of the oven. And you'll see when it comes out of the oven, they look magnificent. They're absolutely something that you would see that would come out of a restaurant. And you did it yourself, and I'm sure you can. So there's one. That's one that's done. I'll do this other one here quickly. I'll show you. Maybe I'll take my gloves off, and we'll cut to when they come out of the oven so that you can see. Oh, there they are. Look at that. They look absolutely unbelievable. And if you could only smell how great these things smell. I mean, the whole house is anticipation. Look at nice texture on there. You can actually see the brush marks. If you get a nice lacquer on there, you can call it a lacquer or a buildup of the barbecue sauce. And it looks just unbelievable. Let them set for a few minutes, and there is the first set. I cut them. I'm going to put them on the serving dish. My wife's got a beautiful serving dish. Oh, look at that. Oh, so nice. Marvelous. We'll put them on there. Get it nice. Don't have my gloves on now, so I can lick my fingers. My guests won't mind. They're all family. There we go. Get it on there. Good job. Make it all. Presentation. Oh, hey. Hey. Give it to my sister-in-law. Hey, here's a piece for you. Here's a good egg. Washing some of the dishes. She gets rewarded with a delicious piece of pork rib. So there we go. Let me pull it out. I'll use my little spatula there. I'll pull it, put it on the cutting board, and we'll cut up some more. We'll put it on the serving tray for the guests who right about now are pretty much in anticipation of the delicious smelling ribs. And there we go. Clean that up. Always take the opportunity to clean a little bit. Let it cool off at the same time. Put it in the sink. And here we go. Where's my knife? Where's my knife? Where is it? Get the pan out of the way. Don't know why I'm doing that now, but regardless, I found my way back. And as you can see, those ribs, I'll cut them up in a minute. Here's the other tray. Want to get them off the stove. There we go. All right, so here we are. Get that out of the way. Let me get my, look at that. Look, see, it just falls off the bone. Delicious. So we're going to cut the end off there. Who do we give that to? We give that to me, the chef, of course. I deserve it. I did a great job. There we go. In between the bones, sometimes it can be a little tricky. You got to just, sometimes it's more of a feel than it is you can actually see. Now, a trick you might want to do is you can actually flip them over and cut them from the backside, because you can actually see them a little bit better from the backside. But that's all right. We'll get them done. Get them all cut. Let me get some more of these on the serving dish. Put them on there. My guests are getting hungry. There we go, right there. My brother's working the grill. He put those pieces on, those little trimmings off the ribs. So let me tell you, oh my goodness, were those good. They were really good. Put those on there. My guests are waiting. What I'm doing here, just get them on there. People don't really care at this point, but I like it to look nice. So there's a little trim. One more piece for the chef. Put the rest of this on there. There you go, people. There it is. So I'm going to end up cutting some more ribs, and hopefully you'll see it on this tray. I get a little garnish, I'll put a garnish on there. But that's it. That's basically it. Cut up the ribs. We served them. It was great. We had a lot of nice sides. But that's the rib recipe. Really easy to do. You should really try it. Super simple. And I think it, not to say that they're not great on the grill, but this is an all year round. I know a lot of people do ribs in the winter in the oven, but this was a great method. My thanks to you people out there on the internet that showed me some of this, and there it is. Somebody snuck a rib. Who was it? I don't know. I'm not going to call out my sister-in-law, but I'm sure it was her. Anyways, good eats. Give it a try. It was delicious. Thanks for watching.